What's up, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. Hey, man. Top bins in the building. We ain't hit top bins in a minute. Go get that, man. 132,000 subscribers. We have the most violent games in football history. And what match is on the forefront? My favorite match of all time. We got Argentina versus Netherlands. World Cup. 2022 Qatar. Semifinals, right? Was this the semis or was this the quarters? I'm pretty sure this was the semifinals, right? I don't know. Whichever one it was, it's for sure my favorite match of all time. Watching this whole live was so entertaining. If you missed my live reaction, it is live on my YouTube. Just type in the Bronco Argentina versus Netherlands live reaction. We watched it live on Twitch. This game had everything. It had dramatic moments, clutch goals. It had the boxing and violence and all that. It had everything. So let's see what other matches is gonna be on this list. Let's see what goes there.
These are the most violent games in football history. And starting off with the 2010 World Cup.
Spain and Netherlands was violent.
Spain and the Netherlands.
Now this game was one of those 1-0 games, so I would imagine that this is one of those violent games. It's real scrappy, especially because it's a final. Y'all know the stigma around finals. Before the Argentina and France game, the stigma around finals was that it's always gonna be a boring game.
Expected to be a display of football artistry. Spain had a team filled with skillful players such as Xavi, Iniesta,
everybody's scared to make a
Sergio
move
Busquets.
type shit.
The
Don't want to
midfield
miss
trio
up.
were Barca's heartbeat as their passing football dominated club football, and they looked to do the same for their nation on the world stage as they tiki-taka their way to the final. Meanwhile, the Netherlands were the
I'm glad
football.
YouTube got on y'all ass for the last video that we just did. But when y'all trying to act like nobody was trying to make Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland a debate, I say, you know what I'm saying?
Style that
YouTube
Spain
had my back.
embodied, with attacking talents like Arjen Robben, Robin Van Persie, and Wesley Sneijder. It could have been a game of beautiful, free-flowing football. Yet the final turned into one of the most violent and physical.
Ooh, kick that boy in his chest. Yeah, I didn't know that was this game.
Nigel de Jong's crazy kung fu kick at Xabi Alonso, but believe it or not, that was just one incident.
Just a
crazy kung
They only gave that a yellow? Hey, well, it was a different time. There was a different time. 2010. You get a red these days in 2026. Just studs up at their ankle. This nigga had studs up, kicked him in his chest, and only got a yellow card.
But believe it or not, that was just one incident in a surprisingly fiery affair. The first lunging tackle came less than a minute into the final when Sergio Busquets was unnecessarily clipped on the calf by Van Persie.
Yeah, leg kick, UFC.
Another over-the-top tackle shortly afterwards, this time on João Capdevila. As Spain tried to strut its stuff, the Netherlands would not let them find its rhythm. Aggressive challenges went in.
So that was part of their game plan,
yeah. De Jong's 22nd-minute kung fu kick.
Hey, you know, Spain is all tiki-taka. Boom, 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 boom. So they say, what's one way to stop all that tiki-taka nonsense? Just foul their ass.
And Alonso, that challenge sparked confrontations between the players as Spain had finally had enough of the Dutch approach. Xavi, Busquets, and Alonso received further aggressive challenges before halftime. The most watched game of the last 4 years was not doing the sport justice and threatened to turn into a bloodbath. In the second half, Spain boss Vicente Del Bosque applauded Iniesta
that's
as
the
the
dude from the meme.
midfielder stood up for himself with a strong challenge of his own. But the tackles intensified, and both sides began play acting against every piece of contact.
Now games like this is where football gets a bad name or a bad rap from a country like the United States of America. You know, some people may tune into the World Cup final to see what it's talking about, but imagine tuning in to see what football is talking about from somebody who don't watch it and watching a game like this. You know what I'm saying?
By extra time, it seemed the two sides had forgotten they were competing for World Cup glory as kicking, diving, and arguing overshadowed the pursuit.
I know this was a terroristic match to watch.
Eventually received his marching orders as the penalty shootout beckoned. However, with just minutes left on the clock, Iniesta latched onto a loose ball to score the game's only goal and win his country's first ever World Cup trophy. The Netherlands had 8 of their 11 starters booked and deserved to lose because of their violent approach. But maybe the Dutch only played so violently because they knew they were inferior.
It was
to Spain.
outmatched. Yeah,
After
you
all,
got to.
Many teams attempt
whole
to
team
utilize
full of
the
Pat
tactic
Beverleys.
to intimidate dazzling passing teams, including Atletico Madrid when they
Atletico
faced
and
Manchester
City
in the 2022 Champions League.
22.
Simeone's reign with Atleti has been iconic, if a little unpleasant on the eye.
Shout out Atleti. You know, they just hung 1, 2, 3, 4 on them Lona boys' heads.
Parked the bus, kicked, shoved, and dived their way to Champions League finals and La Liga titles. But when Simeone came up against Guardiola, he might Champions League.
But he got against Atleti.
Simeone's reign with Atleti has been iconic,
talking
if
shit.
a little unpleasant on the eye. The team have parked the bus, kicked, shoved, and dived their way to Champions League finals and La Liga titles.
I ain't giving them boys no type of credit. Okay, football historian, let us know how you feel. Football historian, not football historian. This Top Benz. Top Benz for sure got to be a Lona Boy fan. He said Atleti dived and kicked and screamed their way to UCL and La Liga title.
But when Simeone came up against
final
Guardiola, he must have instructed his players to produce their ugliest performance yet, because they were pumped up to fight. During the first leg at the Etihad Stadium, Atleti parked the bus in an unprecedented way. In fact, many supporters claimed that the reigning champions of Spain had killed the game, as several players stood like statues in the box during every City attack. Nonetheless, City found a way through and took a 1-0 advantage to the Estadio Metropolitano. Even though Madrid was trailing by a goal, they used a similar approach. Simeone knew that if his team tried to play football against De Bruyne and co.,
I hated them City jerseys. Them Puma ones. I'm glad they switched. Them hoes look so damn childish. Look like a toddler jersey.
Bruyne and co., they could get torn apart. Atletico sat back defensively and made aggressive challenges whenever an opportunity arose as the game remained goalless. The masters of the dark arts were eventually forced to search for a goal with minutes left on the clock when Phil Foden broke free on a counterattack. As the Englishman trudged with the ball into the corner, Felipe slid tackled Foden and kicked him again while he was down.
Yeah, they should have whooped his ass. I remember this.
Midfielder was play acting. Stefan Savic attempted to drag Foden back to his feet. City subs charged over to confront the Madrid
Top
duo,
Benz is hilarious.
And things quickly escalated. Almost every player, substitute, and coach collided in a brawl on the side of the pitch as Savic pulled Jack Grealish's hair. Somehow, Savic was only booked for his assaults on Grealish. Pulled Jack Grealish's hair.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I would've, they would've had I would've Isaiah, he said good girl. I would've Isaiah Stewarted his ass. Isaiah Stewarded his ass. They would have been having to turn me off of his ass. I'm talking about putting him a shirt and jersey while I'm running through everybody.
Somehow, Savic was only booked for his assaults on Grealish and Foden, but Felipe received his second yellow moments later, sparking more ugly scenes. The Atletico players argued aggressively in the face of the referee, but their complaints were to no avail. The tie ended 1-0 to City, and Atletico were lambasted by the press for their unsporting behavior. But if you think that game boiled over, wait until you see the next fiery contest on our list, because it wasn't just the players who
Nice and Marseille. Oh yeah, we already know we get down in the Uber Eats.
21-22 League 1 season. During the coronavirus pandemic, fans were forced to scream at players on TV from the comfort of their homes as social distancing measures ensured stadiums remained empty. Among the first French fixtures to feature supporters after the third stadiums
what the hell is wrong with Puma? These are dead ass probably the worst footy kits that I have ever seen in my life. They stunk on them City boys, and they did Marseille wrong.
French fixtures to feature supporters after the pandemic was Nice versus Marseille. The South Coast rivals usually have fiery affairs, but the players and fans must have forgotten how to act during lockdown because the fixture descended into total carnage.
Really?
Missiles were thrown from the Nice fans at Marseille players throughout their game as their team bulldozed their way to a 1-0 lead. With 15 minutes remaining and 3 points close to being secured, the Nice supporters did something crazy that put their players' hard work in jeopardy. Marseille star Dimitri Payet
What the fuck,
took a
Payet? What is this hairstyle? what is this hairstyle, Payet? What you got going on, baby?
Payet took a corner in front of the few Nice fans when another missile was directed at him. Most players are able to ignore such idiocy, but the former France international
he threw it back. He got up. Hey, he stopped blocking. He said, "Man, I'm a grown man."
Had finally had enough. He picked up a water bottle that had previously been thrown onto the pitch and hurled it into the Nice end. And let's just say the home crowd didn't take too kindly to the gesture.
Nah, don't get mad. Y'all threw it at him. Don't get mad at him for throwing it back. The hell wrong with y'all?
Kindly to the gesture. Dozens of fans charged down to the bottom of the stand to scream abuse. In response, Alvaro Gonzalez
he kicked the ball into there. Ooh, I know people mad now. Yeah, here come the hoodlums. Here come the hoodlums. Let me move a camera.
Each other, and tensions were only about
Why
to
do I
rise
not remember
further
this?
with supporters on the pitch. Scuffles broke out for several minutes before the game was eventually suspended. Nice were docked 2 points for their supporters' disgraceful behavior and ended up drawing the rearranged fixture. It seems to be a theme that games with more violent incidents have fewer goals scored, but the same can't be said about the next game on our list, because Chelsea and Tottenham's 2016 Battle of the Bridge featured 4 goals that rewrote the Premier League history books. Leicester City were on the brink of winning an unthinkable first Premier League title and would be crowned champions if second place Tottenham avoided victory at Stamford Bridge. Given Tottenham's history of bottling, Jamie Vardy and his Leicester teammates must have known they already had one hand on the most unlikely Premier League title of all time. Yet, Spurs weren't following the script. They had a team of generational talents, including Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. In fact, the deadly attacking duo both netted in the first half to give Tottenham a 2-goal advantage. It looked as if Spurs would go into the final 2 games of the season with a fighting chance at the title, but it turned out the only thing they'd be fighting were Chelsea's dark arts. Diego Costa seemed genuinely appalled that the derby match hadn't had enough violent moments as he elbowed and grabbed Jan Vertonghen in the minutes before halftime. Then Danny Rose moments as he elbowed and grabbed Jan Vertonghen in the minutes before half.
He was getting grabbed.
That the derby match hadn't had enough violent moments as he elbowed and grabbed Jan Vertonghen.
Look, he was getting grabbed. Look at it, bro. Look at him grabbing the shirt on the elbow. You know, in basketball, you getting when somebody's behind. Hey, you throw them bowls and that's gonna get you back. My basketball instincts would have kicked in. Like, you know what I'm saying? That Draymond, good. He perfect at that. Somebody doing something. Hey, hit a little quick one of them flops and hit their ass.
Tongan in the minutes before halftime. Then Danny Rose and Willian had a collision that caused Spurs boss Mauricio Pochettino to run onto the pitch to intervene.
USA!
Dembele clawed Costa's eye.
USA! Even though I low-key kind of got beef with Pochettino right now just because of the fact he told Timothy Weah basically to shut up and dribble, basically. Like, Tim was complaining about the ticket prices justly so, and Portugal told us, man, we need our players to focus on the pitch instead of off the pitch. I said, boy, Pochettino, this is not Argentina or wherever the f*** you from, nigga. This is the US of A. Our players have empowerment. Our players that go speak on issues and social justice issues and this, and that. Better get with the program, Mauricio.
To run onto the pitch to intervene. During the scuffle, Dembele clawed Costa's eye, setting up a second half that would undoubtedly be filled with needle. It didn't disappoint.
Why y'all be catfighting, like?
Intervene.
This nigga scratched his eye. Like, y'all footy players, y'all had be catfighting and shit. Like, pushing and scratching like some damn hoes.
Costa's eye, setting up a second half that would undoubtedly be
surprised y'all don't pulling her. Y'all see him pull Jack her.
Spurs were more interested in battling than defending as Eric Lamela made a needlessly aggressive challenge on Cesc Fabregas. The Spaniard rolled around in disgust and claimed Lamela had stamped on him while he was down.
He said, look at my head.
Hot. Gary Cahill bagged a first for Chelsea before Eden Hazard scored a sublime solo goal to square the game, prompting more head loss, drama, and fighting. As Tottenham's title chances dwindled, challenges flew in like a wrecking ball. Even model professional Harry Kane started taking his frustration out on Chelsea with a side tackle from behind with no intentions of winning the ball. Eric Dyer and Ryan Mason produced similar challenges minutes later before the final whistle blew and the night's ultimate brawl began. Almost every player, substitute, and coach battled in a melee in front of the tunnel, which somehow produced no red cards. Still, as Chelsea players returned to the dressing rooms, celebrating preventing their arch rivals from winning the league, the only record Tottenham had broken was the most yellow cards received in a single game of Premier League
I think
football.
I want to say I reacted to this. I made a video about this, I think. Or I reacted to a video about this.
But what if we told you that the Battle of the Bridge was not even the most violent game in English football?
Nah, this
because
is
the
crazy.
Battle
Not
of
even in
Bramall Lane
England?
14 years earlier was
Oh,
so
yeah.
deadly.
Yeah, this just sounds like some housery. Sheffield and West Brom. Yeah, for sure.
That the game eventually got abandoned, and this time it wasn't because of crowd trouble. Sheffield United hosted West Brom at the Lane, a seemingly
it's
normal
proper
game of
English.
second-tier football. However, things got off to a strange start when Sheffield United's keeper Simon Tracy received a red card for handling the ball from outside the penalty
Yeah.
box. The Blades brought on their substitute keeper, and West Brom were eager to test him, scoring twice before the 63rd minute.
Damn.
Sheffield United manager Neil Warnock then substituted on George Santos, a striker with a history against West Brom. During the match the
Really?
previous season, West Brom's Andy Johnson left Santos with a
Oh.
broken eye socket after a
Oh,
collision.
never mind.
And the
I
Sheffield
thought he punched his ass and broke somebody's eye. I was going to say, just sounds like a misunderstanding, like a little accident, huh?
collision, and the Sheffield United man was desperate for revenge. Within just 2 minutes of entering the pitch, Cepho charged down Johnson.
Oh,
and made
hell
a
no.
dangerous sliding
Yeah.
tackle. The hefty
Yeah.
challenge
It's time
looked
to box.
deliberate and was a clear red card.
It's time to
Even
box.
in 2002, Sheffield United were down to 9
He
men,
came on
but
with
then
a, hey, he said all he needed was the platform, nigga. I don't give a fuck. You just sub me in. I know who I'm going for. I'm going at some
Entering
ankles.
the pitch, Cepho charged down Johnson and made a dangerous
bro.
sliding tackle. The hefty challenge looked deliberate and was a clear red card. Even in 2002, Sheffield United were
Even in
down to
2002.
9 men, but then things got really bad. During the brawl that followed Santos' red card, Patrick Cepho also received a red
Damn.
card for headbutting Derek
Oh,
McGuinness.
head,
Sheffield
bro.
United were
This is what I be saying. Like y'all be scratching people. Y'all be scratching hair, pulling hair. Y'all do everything but throw fist.
forced to play out the final 25 minutes of the game with 8 men, but they
But
wouldn't
then
go down
again,
without a fight.
you gotta
Balls broke
remember,
out all over
they
the pitch.
really-
Keith
these
Curran and
niggas
Michael
is
Brown
really
were
wrestling,
lucky to
bro.
avoid red cards.
Old
Police
school.
surrounded the pitch as Sheffield United's behavior bordered on criminal, and their defending was not much better. West Brom added a third after 77 minutes, but the drama was not done yet. Sheffield United's Brown and Ullathorne picked up injuries, but had no remaining substitutes to replace their struggling players.
Damn.
With the Blades down to just 6 fit and available players, the referee was forced to abandon the game. in
These
the
niggas only
80th
had
minute.
6 men. What the
After the
You can say
game,
the same about basketball. There was just a fight in basketball where they was throwing fists the other day. Hornets versus Pistons. That was 3 days ago.
comedic Sheffield United manager Neil Warnock claimed, "I think my lads are ever so pleased with the effort that they put in." He didn't appear to be joking. Warnock received accusations from West Brom's boss Gary Megson that he had instructed players to fake injuries to get the game suspended, but he furiously denied the allegations. Even if that had been Warnock's intention, the strategy
Hold on. Did I just hear what I just heard? Think I heard?
in the 88th minute. After the game, comedic Sheffield United manager Neil Warnock claimed, "I think my lads are ever so pleased with the effort that they put in." He didn't appear to be joking. Warnock received accusations from West Brom's boss Gary Megson that he had instructed players to fake injuries to get the game suspended.
I mean, hey, anything to win, innit?
Seriously denied the
Fairs.
allegations. Even if that had been Warnock's intention, the strategy did not work. After
No.
much discussion, the FA ruled that West Brom's 3-goal lead before the game was abandoned was significant enough to be awarded 3
Damn.
points in the league table. 4 years later on, and on a stage more glamorous than the second tier of English football, the Netherlands and Portugal
Netherlands
clashed
and
in one of
Portugal.
the most violent games
The
in world.
Netherlands again. Netherlands bully ass, but this time Portugal go match up with your ass. When I think of Spain, I ain't gonna say Spain soft because obviously they got Sergio Ramos and Puyol, right? That Puyol dude with the strong Squidward face. But when I think of Spain, I feel like them niggas soft. Aside from their back line, I think of a whole bunch of softies. But somebody like Portugal, I ain't gonna say that Portugal is just like, you know, a whole bunch of hard asses, but they more hard than Spain. So if Netherlands run into Portugal go fight back more than Spain will. Yeah, and then, you know, they got Pepe over there in Portugal. So she
Cup history. The game immediately seemed more hostile than usual as Mark van Bommel made a careless tackle on a young Cristiano Ronaldo within 2 minutes, earning the first yellow card of an evening like no other. CR7 was already among the world's most talented footballers, and aggression must have been the Netherlands' strategy of containing him because by the 7th minute, he'd been booted in the knee by Khalid Boulahrouz.
Ain't no knee, that's star, ain't no red. That's 2026, that's instant red.
Booted in the knee by Khalid Boulahrouz. Portugal dodged several Dutch lunges in the opening 20 minutes and were rewarded for their resilience when Maniche opened the scoring midway through the first half. But if you thought that would make both teams focus on football instead of fighting,
it's always
you'd
the
be
Netherlands.
mistaken. Ronaldo trudged off through injury as he was unable to take the aggression of the Dutch defense, and Costinha joined him in the dressing room moments later after receiving 2 yellow cards for petty fouls before the first half ended. In the 49th minute, Petit became the next Portugal player to be booked for a clumsy foul. 10 minutes later, Giovanni van Bronckhorst entered the book for a late tackle, and Luis Figo also got his name taken for responding to the tackle with a headbutt. In truth, he was lucky to stay on the pitch himself. Boulahrouz had been charging around like a lunatic since battering Ronaldo in the game's opening stages, and finally received his second yellow card just after the hour mark. The next 3 yellow cards were brandished to Dutch players before Portugal received 3 consecutive yellows of their own. In the 77th minute, Decker received his second yellow card for refusing to give the ball back before a Dutch player. But the Netherlands were unable to take advantage of 9-man Portugal and received their second red card of the evening when Giovanni van Bronckhorst was sent off for repeated fouling. The round of 16 match ended with 16 yellow cards and 4 red cards, the most of any game in World Cup history.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a
because the
gotta
06 clash had the most cards in the tournament's history.
Yeah, look at these boys, they teammates, right? Where did I see this? I seen this clip before.
Had the most cards.
They teammates, and they was like, bro, what are we doing? He's like, man, I don't know, bro. My boy's tripping. My boy's tripping too. I can't wait till we get back to club football. Can't wait till we get back to Barcelona or wherever the hell they play.
It doesn't mean that it was the most tense and violent. In 2022, the Dutch were arguably even more fired up as they took on Argentina in an epic World Cup quarterfinal. In fact, the Netherlands' most recent
modern day football
saw 19 yellow cards.
It's always, bro, it is always the Netherlands. What the fuck? These niggas is in like half of these instances.
And Lionel Messi dropping an unhinged post-match interview. The drama started before kickoff when Dutch manager Louis van Gaal claimed that when Argentina lose the ball and the opponent has possession, Messi doesn't participate much, and this gives us chances.
Why did he even say that?
Van Gaal has since suggested that his analysis was not made as a criticism of the superstar talent, but Messi interpreted it differently and was even more determined than usual to show the world who football's GOAT is. After 35 minutes, Messi made a defense-splitting pass to find Nahuel Molina, who opened the scoring. Shortly afterwards, yellow cards were brandished to Marcos Acuna and Jurrien Timber, who had the games coming together after a collision. 3 minutes later, Cristiano Romero joined the duo in the book for a deliberate handball, and Wout Weghorst found a way to receive a booking despite being on the bench. The first half had been tense and edgy, but the following 45 minutes would see the game explode into straight conflict. In the 71st minute, Lionel Messi converted a penalty, taking Argentina 2-0 up and moving the GOAT a step closer to winning his first World Cup
penalty for Argentina.
The former Barca star was feeling himself and celebrated in front of the Argentina bench with Roman Riquelme's celebration. The celebration was significant because Riquelme had previously played under Van Gaal at Barcelona, but left the club following a falling out with the Dutch boss. It was Messi's way of disrespecting Van Gaal.
Okay, Neil, let me know how you feel, boy. Let me know how you feeling. Subliminal shots that you gotta know context about. Yeah.
More violence, but other players would not make their feelings known so peacefully. A scuffle between Memphis Depay and Lisandro Martinez resulted in a booking each before the already booked Weghorst entered the pitch to put the game on its head.
Why they both just shaking that ass?
Each before the already booked Weghorst.
Look at him. What Tagliafico doing? Nigga over here shaking that ass.
Between Memphis Depay and Lisandro Martinez resulted in a booking each before the already booked Weghorst entered the pitch to put the game on its head. The towering striker scored almost immediately to make the scoreline 2-1 and barged into Lionel Messi at the restart. With Argentina hanging on, the play acting intensified. In the 88th minute, Leandro Paredes made a reckless challenge on Nathan
here they finna kick it into the bench.
But
But no, bro. There is no reason. There is not a single scenario to where you had to boot that damn ball into the bench, bro. Other than you just want to start some shit.
Challenge on Nathan Ake and made it
Why did he do?
Why did he do that, Netherlands bench every single Ake.
Why did he do that?
By booting the ball directly at the Netherlands.
I know the time is running out. They want a time waste and all of that, but you could have made it go higher to fly into the stands. So, you know, they didn't have a chance to throw it back in play. This nigga booted that whole full force power shot.
Putting the ball directly at the Netherlands bench. Every single member of the Dutch bench.
Damn, Big Bird.
Before starting players bench. Every single member of the
Big
Dutch bench
Bird.
sprinted at Paredes before starting players joined in on the action too.
Then he put his hands on him.
Were not going to let their man take a beating and came together to protect Paredes in one of football's biggest battles. Eventually, handbigs were diffused and the game
what
continued.
Fresh got going on?
Nicolas Otamendi and Messi earned themselves bookings
on the
and
bench.
became
And
even
guess
more
what?
hot.
And guess what? If you would have did that, guess what?
Sprinted at the ball directly at the Netherlands bench.
Guess what?
Every single member of the
This you. That's you, and this is me. You feel me?
bench sprinted at Paredes.
Let's look at it again from a different angle. That's you.
Joined
This me.
in on the action too. The Argentines were not going to let their man take a beating
make
and came together to
and
protect
shit.
Paredes in one of football's biggest battles. Eventually, handbigs were diffused and the game continued. Nicolas Otamendi and Messi earned themselves bookings and became even more hot-headed when Weghorst snuck home an equalizer in the 11th minute of stoppage time. Argentina and Messi's World Cup dreams were hanging by a thread as the game went to extra time, a period in which 2 more yellow cards were handed out. Despite the unsporting behavior, neither side could establish a lead, and the quarterfinal went to penalties. Shootouts are always heartbreaking for one team, but they rarely featured too much violence or controversy. Yet, Denzel Dumfries had other ideas as he tried to distract Martinez before his potentially match-winning penalty for Argentina. Martinez paid no attention to the Dutch fullback and converted the penalty to end the tie and book Argentina's place.
Yeah, look at they talking that shit afterwards. I can't stand Argentina, bro.
And book Argentina's place.
I would have been so heated. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a sore loser. I don't give a fuck the integrity of the sport. If them niggas running by, clowning me like, hey, guess what? I'm running right after they ass like that. I'm running right at. We finna fight. Hey, y'all want to clown? Hey, on my mama, I already done lost. What I got to lose? What the fuck do I got to lose? I ain't got nothing to lose. We just lost. The next World Cup ain't till 40 years after that. Let's box. Goddamn me.
In the semifinals,
let's box.
Somehow, the conflict
ain't no more celebration.
Players of both teams collided in yet another brawl as Otamendi cupped his ears
yeah,
at the
see?
Netherlands
I wanted like
Dumfries responded aggressively and received his second yellow, while Noah Lang entered the book for the first time. Once the battle on the pitch finished, the war of words began on the side of it. Messi angrily confronted Van Gaal by the tunnel before asking Weghorst, "Kimira Boba," translating to, "What are you looking at, fool?"
What you looking at?
What you looking at? As there may have been more
that nigga Nail say, "Hey man, what you?" No, that boy Nail say, "Man, what you looking at? Man? What you looking at?"
These are the most collided in yet.
He looking at you, Nail.
As Otamendi cupped his ears at the distraught Netherlands players.
That nigga, bro, he stopped his interview mid. He felt the nigga just staring at him, near his eyes. That nigga Nail looked. He said, "Bro, what are you looking at?"
On the side of it, Messi angrily confronted Van Gaal before asking Weghorst, "Kimira Boba," translating to, "What are you looking at, fool?"
What's up with dude eyes?
Weghorst, "Kimira Boba," translating to,
"What's wrong with him?
What are you looking at, fool?" In the
you looking at, fool?
As much as there may have been more violent individual clashes in football matches,
yeah, talk that shit, boy. Hey, you know somebody talking that shit when they lift their head up like that when they talking. When they be like this instead of just talking that boy. Yeah, nigga. You see how he lifting his head up?
What are you looking at, fool? In the media room. As much as there may have been more violent individual
he got their head tilted up. Yeah, Nail talking this shit.
With trauma,
that boy is hilarious, man.
Sideline stories. Now, if you enjoyed this,
he say I'm humble until you get me activated. Hey, clap it up for top bench. Netherlands, bro. Like, golly. Y'all was on this. It was like 6 games, and y'all was in 6 of them. Netherlands versus Spain, Netherlands versus Portugal, Netherlands versus Argentina. Y'all lost all 3. Y'all lost Every single one of them. Where's my Dutch people at? Shout out Top Biz. Go subscribe to them boys. Damn, he turned the comments off. Bro, he just turned the comments off like, remember, the comments was on 10 minutes ago. He just turned them hoes off. Damn. Huh. Hey, go subscribe to Top Biz. Hey, Top Biz, if ain't nobody rocking with you, Big Bronx and the Fro Boys just rocking with you. Everybody go subscribe to Top Biz, man. Go subscribe to them boys. Get them to 133K. Let me refresh and see if the comments really off. Oh, never mind. I lied. Type shit. Hello.